You guys know I'm really into what words mean. I actually haven't even looked this up. I'm just like, it's weird and it's strange. If you go look it up and find what the root word is, okay? Heuristic. Heuristics. What does this mean? Well, the best way I can say it is it's a rule of thumb. It's a rule of thumb. What's a rule of thumb? When I say, oh, here's something, here's some advice, but it's just a rule of thumb. What does that mean?
Something that applies generally.
Yeah, that's right. It's usually true. I mean, there are exceptions, but this will get you through most of the way. Okay. So, example, a rule of thumb. I was just talking about what roads to take on a journey, right? So that's a decision. A rule of thumb is that in peak hour, which one is slower, a main road or a back street? A main road is generally true. Right? Even though the speed limit is faster on the main road, if it's peak hour, generally there'll be more cars on there. Okay? But it's not always true. Can someone think of an exception to that? If there's roadworks on the back streets, or if there's like an accident or something like that. Now both of those are exceptional. They sort of contradict the rule of thumb because they're not usually true. Okay, but still, it's not like a guarantee. Okay, it's not like this is always going to happen. Okay, so let me try and give you a more computery sort of situation. Okay, let's have a look at. I'm gonna open this up actually. Hold on, I'm gonna mute this first so you don't see what I'm logging into or how I'm logging in.
See the screen, so.
Yeah, but you can't read what I'm doing from this way. Actually. I can.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's too fast. Oh, it's a 6-letter password.
You need counting lessons.
Oh no.
Oh, maybe that's just the news way of confusing you.
This is funny. Okay. All right. Okay, so here is my example of heuristics. Now, what are we looking at? Okay, this is my spam folder. This is my spam folder. Okay. I didn't say it was spam. I said this is my spam folder. Okay. Now, spam and identifying it is a decision support problem. Okay, because what's the decision? What's the decision that has to be made? Is this mail legit? Is it from a legit person? Is it intended for you? You know, really? Okay. All of those questions have to be answered by Gmail, right? So there's a decision support system devoted to that. Okay. Now, what kind of heuristics does it use? What kind of rules of thumbs does it employ? Well, let's have a look. For instance, let's have a look at this top one here. Okay. Now, without any sophisticated algorithms or knowledge, you guys all right now are employing a heuristic that tells you that's spam, right? What are you using? What are you using? What's going on?
Mary Beth and stuff.
Okay, number one, you're like, Mary Beth? That's not how you spell Mary Beth. Like, what is that? And like, what, do you have no surname? Like, what are you, the artist formerly known as Mary Beth or something? So that's kind of weird. What else? In the subject, there's some suspicious stuff. What's up with that? There's a dollar sign instead of an S, and there's an exclamation mark instead of an O. Like, that doesn't even look remotely similar, okay? Now, that's, you know, some people could send emails like that, I mean, if you wanted to, but this is suspicious, right? So what's my rule of thumb? Okay, number one, I don't know anyone named Mary Beth. Number two, even if I did, it would not be spelled that way. Number three, even if it was spelled that way, they'd probably have a surname. Number four, what's up with this messed up wording, okay? So these are all of my rules of thumb which I employ, which, by the way, might be all wrong, okay? There might be someone I don't know who really does spell their name this way, who really has no surname, and just is fond of, you know, using symbols in their language. And that's what she really wants me to know about the best medicine healthcare products that are online, okay? This could be legit mail, but probably, generally, this is spam, okay? But you can see heuristics sometimes get it wrong, don't they? So let's see here. See, now, I think I know that guy, and maybe you do. This is real mail, right? But it's been sent to spam. Okay? Why would it be sent to spam? What kind of heuristics do you think would be at play that send this to spam?
You might have pressed the spam button.
Okay, number one, I may have actually tagged it as spam. But in terms of heuristics, I'm thinking about what happens automatically. Like what's happening without my intervention. Why do you think this might have gone to spam? Yeah. Okay, good. Number one, right? When we send emails to each other, usually we're like, hey, what's up? Have you done the assignment? Or something like that, right? Okay, or hey, here are my answers for the Starbucks assessment, something like that, okay? We don't generally say, hey, Pork, check out this awesome link, you know that? That's suspicious, okay?
And then you click it.
Okay, right. Now, there are other things that are suspicious about this as well. For instance, have a look at this. I don't know if you paid much attention to this, okay? Where did this email come from? Well, two things to notice, okay? Number one, look at that. What is that? Okay, can someone tell me what is that? That's something real. Why is that so full of gibberish? Now this address, both of these addresses, have been automatically generated by a computer. Okay, there wasn't like Mark Zuckerberg's like, I think this is a great email address to have. Okay, a computer made those up. Okay, and it's made them up and they're different. See how they're not the same? Okay, now that's sus, right? The from and the reply to are not the same. That's really weird. Okay, so heuristically, right? Gmail has said, yeah, this is probably, yeah, and you can see it even says, be careful with this message. Here's an additional thing. Our systems couldn't verify that this message was really sent by who it says it's coming from. Okay, so it's a bit like if I get a text from you. Okay, sorry, start again. If I get a text from an anonymous number and it's signed off as you, right? It's like, well, I can't really know if it was you because it wasn't the number I had for you before. Okay, so that's kind of suspicious. Okay, and in this case, probably most of us think actually it's not spam, right? So I should mark it as such. Okay, but you can see how the use of a heuristic, a general rule of thumb, these things do generally indicate spam, right? That's what sent this to the spam folder. Okay, so. That's what a heuristic is. Now, you'll often hear about this used in like antivirus software. Okay, why do you think antivirus software would be really big on heuristics and not so much on either of these approaches up here? There are lots of viruses, that's true. But when I'm satisficing, there might be lots of different solutions. Why might this be particularly relevant? Yeah, that's right. Number one, they're going to be trying to masquerade as something else. Okay. Number two, they're always changing. And it's not like the optimization problem. It's a completely different kind of problem. Can you see that they're trying to make a decision about? It's not like, oh yes, I have a million different things and I just have to go through all of them one by one and see which one's the best. Okay. This is answering a completely different question, right? It's not about which one's the best. It's about whether or not this is spam or not. Okay, so you see, there's decisions and there's decisions. They're all different in terms of what you actually have to choose. So that's why you've got different strategies. Okay?